To my channel. If you didn't, go watch my other video. And today we are watching a animation, The Evolution of King Kong. We're gonna watch Godzilla later in the video, so stick tuned.
King Kong is the most recognizable ape in movie history. On film from the 1930s to the modern day.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the big ape's evolution. Animated. In his original film, King Kong has constantly shifting fur all over his body, minus a hairless chest. He has a prominent brow, flared nostrils, and sharp canine teeth. He also sometimes has a longer face and a more bare chest. And in super close-ups, his face appears wider with smaller features. He's forced to become a theater attraction. But he escapes.
5 toes for the first time.
Only to be shot down from the Empire State Building. In the sequel, it's revealed Kong had a son. He's much smaller, has tall white fur, and a much happier face. Although to save the life of a shady movie producer, this ape sacrifices himself in flooding water. In King Kong vs. Godzilla, Kong has reddish fur, with bald patches on each of his pecs. Prominent cheekbones,
the battle into the sea.
Much taller than most iterations of Kong. He is apparently supercharged by lightning, which he uses to fight a radioactive monster, both tumbling into the ocean.
Yep,
the first animated series features a more quadrupedal standing Kong with brown fur and stylish hair. This ape also has a best friend, Bobby, with who he goes on adventures. Additionally, this show features the evil Mechanicon, operated by the dastardly Doctor Who. In King Kong Escapes, Kong is less than half the size of his King Kong vs. Godzilla counterpart. His head is bigger, with larger facial features, and he has longer arms and shorter legs. This film also features its own Mechanicon, equipped with powerful light bulb eyes and a utility belt full of grenades. Although the second version of him lacks the belt, but does have a hypnotic light on his head to help him fight against the OG Kong. The 1976 remake Kong has dark fur and skin, a small muzzle, and noticeably human-looking eyes. His face also occasionally looks unrecognizably round. This Kong is creepily attracted to his special lady friend, and when taken off his island, he's forced to become a mascot
Kong
for
is a
greedy
simp.
oil company. But he breaks free, scales the Twin Towers, and is shot down, presumably killing him. But in the sequel, it's shown Kong is being kept alive in a coma. This
Lady Kong's gotta be. Yeah,
Kong, who is used to give Kong a blood transfusion, allowing an artificial heart to be placed inside of him. This time, Kong is a little taller, has longer hair,
35
a more pronounced
tons.
chest, a longer face, and his eyes look less human. He and Lady Kong run off together, only for the military to shoot him down.
Again, shoot him down.
He's able to see his just-born offspring, Little Kong. The
Little
Mighty
Kong.
Kong features another cartoon Kong with a bulging torso, rounded muzzle, and
He's
despite the
brown?
poster showing him as all brown, this Kong has gray skin and dark fur. Like usual, this Kong falls from the tallest building in New York, but this time he gets to survive his fall. Kong, in the
for the first time he
animated
survived his
series,
fall.
features a muscular build, a blue-toned coloring, longer arms, and a tiny head. Although in his final outing, his look would be more streamlined with a larger head.
Don't mess with this Kong. Look at him, so strong.
With his human brother, which boosts his intelligence and allows him to double in size. The 2005 King Kong looks largely like a silverback gorilla, with noticeable
19
scars and
tons,
large
25 feet
teeth.
tall.
This Kong is easily
That's
entertained,
simper.
but much like
I
his
mean, Kong
original
is already
counterpart,
simp.
is no match for bullets and a 1,400-foot fall. Kong, King of the Apes, features a more stylized young Kong, who then grows into an adult.
King of
In
the
the second season,
Apes.
he's given a slight redesign with pinker skin. This Kong wears laser-proof arm bracers and occasionally rides a giant jetpack. In Kong,
The first time I've ever seen it have jetpack.
his fur is light
Kong
brown,
Skull
and he has
Island.
prominent scarring on his chest. This Kong defends his island's visitors from his unruly neighbors. In the follow-up, Kong is much larger.
Godzilla vs. Kong.
And a salt and pepper beard. He also now yields a fancy dorsal fin axe to help
To
him
fight
face off against the
King of the Monsters.
He could team up and take down an even greater
Mando
threat.
Godzilla.
Once and for all that Kong really is the King of the Apes. Thank you for watching the video.
Into Godzilla time.
Since being awoken by
Hi, Charlie
atomic
Brown.
bombs, Godzilla has lit up the silver screen. But his looks seem to be ever-changing. Starting with the original, let's go through his theatrical looks and story. Animated. In his first
What
ever
is it,
appearance, Godzilla has small arms, thick legs, and dorsal plates down his spine. His pupils are tiny, and he has fangs and pointy ears. After attacking Japan, he gets disintegrated to bone.
How the
A new
oxygen
gigantic-
destroyer.
Godzilla, appears in Godzilla Raids Again. This monster is thinner, with longer arms, a smaller head, and larger pupils. When in close-ups, his teeth appear to be jutting out. Sadly, he's buried in ice. But in King Kong versus
That'd be very
Godzilla,
nice.
he busts free.
Now he
He's
busts
now
free
in
now.
color, is more plump, toeless, and has a lizard-like head with yellow eyes, no ears, and no fangs. He faces off against
The
a
giant ape.
tumbling into the ocean, only to be
I
washed
heard
ashore in
that.
Mothra versus Godzilla. Now he's slimmer.
He fight
has a
King
wider
Kong,
head,
and he's gonna
wide
fight King
eyes,
Kong in the
and
future.
smooth, shiny
Well, he
brows.
already fight King
As
Kong.
his rampage continues, he gets covered in silk and again drops into the sea. But in Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, he's back. Now with a slimmer face and longer tongue. From this film
His
on,
tongue
in the
is
original
longer,
series, Godzilla
Ghidorah's
now
here.
defends humanity from more evil monsters. In Invasion of Astro Monster, Godzilla is thinner. His dorsal plates have more definition. His claws are dull, and his head is rounder. He shows off his new dance moves before briefly being put under alien mind control. Ibara, Horror of the Deep, gives Godzilla less angry brows. He battles against a big lobster and narrowly escapes an exploding island. In the sequel, Godzilla's neck is elongated. He's pudgier, and his dorsal fins are flimsy looking. His nose is also stubbier, and his eyes are bugged out. Oh, and he's now raising a hideous son. In Destroy All Monsters, he's slimmer, while his face appears more like it did in Astro Monster. He's put under alien mind control again, but once free of their control, he turns on them. For the next three scenes, consistent. In the first, he helps his son face off against a bully. However, this all takes place inside the dreams of a young boy, so... moving on. Next, in Godzilla vs. Hedorah, he opposes a pollution monster, and when curled up like a shrimp,
Save Earth.
he now fly backwards.
Yeah, that was
In
actually
Godzilla
cool.
vs. Gigan, Godzilla has gained the ability to speak, while his suit,
Hello?
skin, starts ripping during his triumphant battle. He appears slimmer in Godzilla vs. Megalon, with a shorter neck, soft, bright dorsal fins, and a round, pig-nosed face. He boasts a long-distance dropkick, but this movie is mostly about a size-changing robot, so let's keep going. In the next two films, Godzilla has an angrier expression and more detailed muzzle. He uses a magnetic upgrade to protect an ancient god from Mechagodzilla. And in the sequel, faces him once more. But this timeline's Godzilla is sent to retirement.
Okay,
and 9
he's
years later,
retiring
a
now.
reboot Godzilla appears. This one's taller, has larger dorsal fins, a fourth toe, and his fangs and ears make a return. Although his reign is short-lived as he trips into a volcano, only to explode out in the sequel. He has a smaller head, a more muscular build, larger outer fins, and a cat-like face with a secondary row of teeth. He takes out a giant plant monster.
By long take.
In Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, his original form, the Godzillasaurus, is taken out of the
Hashtag
1940s and
go in the
exposed to
comment
modern-day
and write
radiation,
F if you
turning
like
him into a
Godzilla.
taller, muscular, and
Godzilla
angrier-looking Godzilla.
1955.
Fights
If you like him,
King Ghidorah,
just
and
saying.
then gets dumped into the ocean.
Write
In
F.
Godzilla vs. Mothra, he's
Godzilla
thinner.
vs.
His dorsal
Mothra,
plates are
he's
rearranged, and his
thinner,
neck is
he's
more ribbed. His head is flatter, and he has golden eyes.
golden
He battles
eyes.
against Mothra and Batra, and once
Mothra
again
and
is
Batra.
plunged into the ocean and locked in by
Mothra's
Mothra's
Batra's
magical
kid,
powers.
right?
But somehow, in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, he's back. He has
He's
slimmed
back
down
now?
shoulders and slimmer legs. He's also raising a blue-toned baby Godzilla.
That's
This time
big.
he's
That's
defeated when
Junior.
his butt brain is destroyed.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's even
Junior, right?
revitalized just moments later. Godzilla
We're
vs.
done.
Space Godzilla features the bulkier original with less
Stronger.
detailing in the neck and larger eyes. Godzilla Jr., who is taller and chubbier with a greener color scheme. And a large flying blue crystallized
Space Godzilla? I was literally about to say Space Godzilla. Why are you copying me? What do you mean I'm copying you?
And his son now looks more like a hunched
Dating
version of his father.
Godzilla.
When the original Big G has a meltdown, his son absorbs the radiation and turns into the new Godzilla ready for action. But the series would be continually rebooted, dropping him altogether. The first American Godzilla appears as a
Zilla.
large mutated iguana with blue dorsal spines and a hanging dewlap. This Godzilla also has hundreds of tiny raptor-looking offspring. This happy family is easily taken out by basic explosives. Back in
The worst
Japan,
American movie
Godzilla
ever.
2000, he appears shorter, with green jagged skin, sharp purple spines, and a reptilian-looking face. While he's nearly swallowed whole, he's good to go for the next reboot, Godzilla vs. Mechaguirus, in which he's lighter.
He was sent to Black Hole. I just know. I saw this. Not the video. I saw that part when he went to Black Hole.
In Giant Monsters All-Out Attack, Godzilla is formed by the ghosts of vengeful World War II victims. He has smooth charcoal-colored skin, white dorsal fins, and a hunched neck. His face is less lizard-like, with pure white eyes and no ears. But this Godzilla is mutilated by a drill missile, leaving only his beating heart behind. The following reboot, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, re-adds the jagged design elements and introduces a more wolf-like face. In the climax, he's blasted by a beam, adding a visible scar to his chest for the sequel, Tokyo SOS, in which he's covered in silk and again flown into the bottom of the sea.
He's in the
Godzilla
bottom of the
Final
sea now?
Wars features a taller, smoother, and more slender Godzilla, with longer ears and red eyes. This Godzilla fights against a multitude of creatures, including an upright standing 98-Zilla. Then he and his hideous son head back to the ocean.
At first, I didn't know if he had a hideous son.
Is a light-colored and armless creature, but quickly evolves, growing tiny arms and becoming more red with bloody accents. His massive main form is darker with a much longer tail that has a little face on the end. His jaw can unhinge and split apart, and he has a variety of handy new skills. He can also apparently reproduce human hybrids from his tail tip. But he's given a freezing agent, ceasing his evolution.
Now he's frozen for 20 days.
Godzilla with a tree bark-like texture.
Godzilla anime.
He sports beard-like spikes and grows to his largest on-screen size, easily allowing him to become the ruler of Earth.
Put it for Godzilla.
In 2014, a plump American Godzilla appears.
Godzilla 2014.
Wide elephant-like feet, and noticeable gills. He comes out of hiding to stop two hideous star-crossed lovers. In Godzilla, King of the Monsters, he's taller and beefier. His lower half looks less stubby. His tail tip is more blunt, and his dorsal fins are less sharp and artfully glowing. Later, he's given extra radiation, and after ashes rain down on him, he gets a fiery new look and power upgrade, helping him to retain his kingly crown.
King of the Monsters. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 or 8. Come wake up early so you can see the video, because we're playing PS for a few minutes. For not few minutes, the time that we stop. We're gonna play 3 match or something like that. We'll see you tomorrow. Vote in the comments how much match you want me to play. Bye guys, see you tomorrow.